Call Allah Imla Lahaina Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, Wamalaki by Hashem, Harawat, Wakakorash, Barakatham, the Water Bible Ball, Wakwam Yasharala. Double honor to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone who teach us daily, to the men out there teaching the likewise doctrine that say Shalom. Today we're going to get into a video whereas you got a couple of MAGA pastors who thinks that the idea of slavery was not bad. And you know what, it's cool. You know, I just love it when they make these videos like this, because they speak, the way they speak is like they want to sneak it back into existence. Little do they know, I don't think they know who got next in slavery at that is. But see, it is so refreshing to see the positive attitudes they have about slavery, because guess what? If you don't think it's so bad, then you won't mind going into captivity yourself. That's the gist of it. So, like I said, I love it when they make these videos because they just don't know they got next up in chains. So, we're going to get into the video. Before that, I want to get the copyright. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use of purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Let's get it. The name of this video is MAGA Pastors Want Slavery Back. Black Americans Aren't Happy.
What's going on, beautiful African family? This is your main man, Theo E.J. Wilson with African Diaspora News Channel. And these racists is just having a field day right now. They showing out, showing they hold behind. They can't wait to just release themselves, all of that pent-up racist aggression, as if that Republican group chat wasn't bad enough and they saying the N-word this and praising the Nazis over here and saying that MLK holiday need to get done away with. I think they having a kind of a race to the bottom moment, because now you got MAGA pastors openly calling for the return of slavery, saying that slavery is not a crime, biblically speaking. They say that it is not wrong to own another human being. Now check out this clip from Pastor Joshua Hames as he lays down how he feels the Bible should be interpreted when it comes to slavery.
The institution of slavery is not inherently.
If you live in a Kentucky zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years, listen carefully.
Evil. I know.
So like it for that, let me run it back. They love putting commercials where they don't belong.
To slavery.
The institution of slavery is not inherently evil. I know. Some of you guys are upset by that. Some of you guys are saying, I've been saying that for years. Okay, I'll take it a step further. It is not inherently evil to own another human being.
Now, what he actually means is there's nothing wrong with us Edomites owning you Israelites. That's the translation, because I promise you, if the shoe was on the other foot, they would object. But that's what he's really saying. It's okay for Edomites to own black and brown people.
I know. Just wait. Some of you guys are really upset, but let's talk through this, because it is very important that every Christian affirm what I just said. And not only should they affirm it, every Christian in today's society should be able to defend what I just said. Okay? Every Christian should be able to defend it. Big.
Now, you know, when he says Christian, he means Edomite, right? You know that the term white supremacy has been repackaged to national evangelicals and evangelical, what, how you say it? National evangelic and national what are Christians, national Christians or something. But the evangelicals, that's what it is, national evangelicals and Christian nationals. Those are the new terms they use for white supremacy now. So when he's talking to the Christians, he's talking about other Edomites. That's who he's talking to, other Edomites, when he says Christians.
Eva, big evangelicalism, has been getting this wrong for years, basically since the Genesis, since the advent of Big Eva. They haven't had a good answer for the slavery issue.
Yeah, so you heard it here first, folks. Oh, did I tell you that Joshua Haynes is Pete Hegseth's pastor? That's right. That is the spiritual.
That makes all the sense in the world, because guess what? Trump's spiritual pastor just got arrested for possession of child materials. So that makes all the sense in the world.
Advisor for the leader of the U.S. Department of War, formerly known as the Defense Secretary. That is the guy who's in charge of all the generals. Pastor, he is advising the man who commands the guns that slavery is good. What kind of bizarro world are we in right now? What kind of regressive, I don't want to play by the rules era? I don't like civil rights no more. What kind of I'm going pharaoh back to my wild racist roots kind of white folks are we dealing with today? Because this is.
They're going back to their true nature of hating Israelites, and they ain't afraid to hide it no more, because Trump is giving them the green light to be as racist as they want to be.
Something that isn't just coming from him. Oh no, we got another pastor that said roughly the same thing. Listen to the pastor Joel Webbin as he talks about how black folks in America should respond to having been enslaved by white folks.
Because here's the deal. It's like, well, with slavery, the richest black people on God's green earth are African Americans. If slavery never happened, then you would be in a grass hut. Yeah.
No, if slavery never happened, you wouldn't be over here raping children and lying about it. You wouldn't be over here being the biggest domestic terrorist this world has ever seen and lying about it. You wouldn't be over here poisoning the food, the air, the water, and robbing people with your unrighteous decrees. If you wasn't over here, we wouldn't have to worry about our children getting snatched up and raped or being approached online. If you wasn't here, it wouldn't be no chemtrails. It wouldn't be islands of trash. See how they present themselves as a blessing to us? But he's so-called a man of God.
Right? Well, we need reparations. Your reparations are that you get to live in America.
The black and brown get to live in a place that they're indigenous to. You see, the twisted minds of the wicked, their pride has exceedingly polluted them. But that's okay, because the Lord is about to pull up and knock them off that prideful pedestal they put themselves on. They can never acknowledge the wickedness they have done. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. Yeah, that's them. And woe means destruction, roughly paraphrasing the scripture.
Welcome. You're welcome.
You get to have the Christian religion.
That's
live
right.
better than your ancestors.
The greatest moment in history for any brown or black country is the moment that the white man's ships arrive on your shore.
He said, "Oh,
Yo, see the pride? And when the white man's ships came up on our shores, that's when we had to worry about all the lies, all the murder, all the disease that you brought. So how is anything that you brought over here a blessing to us? All right, y'all can watch the rest of this. I'm going to get some scripture. This ain't going to be a long video. Let's go to Psalms chapter 2. This is verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thine possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. I'm glad you feel that way about slavery, because guess what? If you feel like slavery cool now, you should also feel like slavery is cool when you go into captivity, which is in the very near future. Let's go to Revelation. Chapter 13. Verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. Now let's go to Revelation chapter 2. Let's go down a bit. And this is verse 26, Lord Yahushua speaking, a red letter. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken into shivers, even as I received of my Father. Let's keep going. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 149, verse 6. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. Now let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. We start at verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy upon Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. The strangers are the Israelite Gentiles, the ones who are Israelites by blood, who grew up in following the customs of other heathen nations. There's no such thing as a spiritual Israelite. In order to be a spiritual Israelite, you got to be a blood Israelite first. And the house of Israel, well, let me start over. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Mm-hmm. Now let's go down to verse 21. This is going to happen after your 1,000 years of slavery, Esau. Since you're so cool with slavery, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off Babylon, the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. So he's basically saying he's finna do away with all Edomite males, so there won't be any more Edomites being born. Because in order for an Edomite to be born, you have to have an Edomite seed. So yeah, he about to cut y'all off. Now let's go to Isaiah chapter 45. Verse 14. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, the labor of Egypt and merchandise of Ethiopia, and the other Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. Ooh, it's going to be, all 17 nations are going into captivity under the Israelites. They shall come after thee, in chains shall they come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely Yahweh is in thee, and there is none else. There is no Yahweh. Now let's go to, what's it, 14, 21? Hold on. Oh, we already got that one. Let's go to 33. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, spoil mean to rob, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Now let's go to Isaiah, select the Psalms. Chapter 149. We can start at verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. We got that one before, didn't it? Yep. But that's all right, though. We're going to keep it moving. Let's go to Revelation chapter 2. Verse, I think I got this one too. Yeah, I already got that one. So let's keep going to Isaiah 60. I'm going for two different lists, and a lot these lists got the same scripts on them, but that's all right though. Isaiah chapter 60. And this is Lord Yahweh Shai. Well, it's not the red letter. No, it's not the red letter. Salakia. This is Isaiah chapter 60. Verse 11. Therefore thy gate shall be open continually. They shall not shut day or night, that men may bring upon thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary. And I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Y'all gonna bow down. The Lord gonna slap all that pride out of y'all mouth. Verse Isaiah chapter 61. We start at verse 1. The Spirit of the Lord Yahweh is upon me, because the Lord Yahweh has anointed me to preach the good tidings unto the meek. He have sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord Yahweh, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord Yahweh, that he might be glorified. Now, this is what the Lord gonna have these other people doing, these other nations. And they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. Y'all gonna be working. And the stranger shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. That sounds like slavery to me. But ye shall be named the priests of the Lord. Men shall call you ministers of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves. We're going to see all that pride going to be in that day. For your shame ye shall have double. Ooh. And for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them. Double, homie. We had to do 500. Y'all got to do 1,000. See how prideful you going to be at the end of that 1,000 years. You're welcome. Go to Psalms 137. Verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. We ain't forgot alligator bait. And we ain't gonna let you forget neither eat. Ezekiel 35. Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Verse 15. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. See how prideful you're going to be when the country that you stole is destroyed. The Lord is going to destroy the one thing you are most proud of, this country you stole. Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 12. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and had greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Don shall fall by the sword. Edomites. Verse 14, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. That sounds like ass whoopings. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to mine fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh. Verse 17, and I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and I will lay my vengeance upon them. Now let's close. Book of Obadiah. Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee. Ooh. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? You see how high that pride is? You heard these pastors. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. He gonna do it. We're gonna see how your pride gonna be in that day. Verse 9, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Verse 15, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. That though they had not been, 17 nations going into captivity. That's never happened before. Not at the same time, up under the Israelites. That's what's about to happen. Verse 17, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Everything you stole, you about to run that plus some. And we're going to see where your pride stands in that day. Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau a stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it. Verse 21, and Savior shall come upon Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. That heavy judgment, you're going to get at the end of your 1,000 years of hardcore captivity, is extermination from the planet. Since y'all so crazy about the whole idea of deportation, guess what? The Lord about to deport y'all from the planet. And ain't nobody gonna miss y'all crazy asses. Call Halayim Lala, Hayanaw Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, Wa Malaki Yabah Hashem, Hawa Wak Wakak Warash Barakathum, the water Bible Ball, Wakwam Yasharala. Shalom.